Welcome to Charlie's Flavor Maps. We're diving into a culinary investigation today to see if we can cheat a 4-hour traditional New England staple in under 8 minutes. Now, most people will tell you that a proper chowder requires a professional kitchen, fresh dug mirepoix, and a half-day simmering in a fish stock. But I think they're selling you a lie. Living in the high desert, in a converted school bus or a Skoolie, means I don't have room for a traditional pantry or time for 4-hour simmers. So we're using a strategy I call the Phantom Map. We're building this entire meal out of shadows of previous recipes. Leftover bacon, a couple of shelf-stable cans, and a chemistry that'll trick and unlock flavor faster than a professional chef will ever admit. Now, most people see a can of clams and a bag of dried onions as a last resort meal. But a hopeful skeptic looks at these as flavor batteries waiting to be activated. We're going to deconstruct the myth of the fresh-only kitchen because, for me, the science of this map beats the tradition of the stove every single time. Now, we start by hitting the pan with a tablespoon of butter and a tablespoon of olive oil. Now pay close attention, because this is the knowledge gap that separates a cook from a flavor engineer. Now your spices, the thyme, the black pepper, and that essential hit of Old Bay are largely fat soluble. If you toss these into the broth at the end, you're just eating raw floating herbs that haven't given up their essence at all. By blooming them in this hot fat right now for 60 to 90 seconds, we are performing a high-speed chemical extraction. This is the Skoolie shortcut. We are forcing the oils in the herbs to bond with the butter and the olive oil, creating a concentrated flavor base that would normally take hours to develop in a slow simmer. Since I'm out of fresh onions at the moment, don't have any, we're using dried minced onions. Now, in a small space like the bus, a fresh onion can sometimes be a liability. It can rot, it smells, it takes up prime real estate. Now, these dried onions, however, are shelf-stable soldiers. When they hit that seasoned fat, they rehydrate and caramelize instantly, giving us that deep, savory foundation without the prep work. Next, we bring in the ghosts of the meals past, all the leftover stuff. This 1/4 cup of crumbled bacon, it's a leftover from a recent, I think I made pea salad. In an almost zero waste lifestyle I try to live, I have limited scraps. I have components instead. This bacon has already been rendered, so its salt and smoke are ready to play. Then we move to our canned staples, okay? Got all the leftovers. The diced potatoes and the clams. A lot of people turn their noses up to canned potatoes. But for this flavor map, they're perfect. They're already been parboiled, meaning their starch is already stabilized, and they won't turn your chowder into a gummy mess. Mush. Blah. And when it comes to the clams, do not, and I repeat, do not Drain that juice into the sink. That liquid is gold. It's a pre-concentrated saline heavy brine that carries the entire ocean in a few ounces. Dumping it is a tax on the uninformed. We poured the clam juice and the chicken broth directly into our Bloom spice base. Watch how the fat-loaded spices immediately emulsifies into the liquid. We aren't just heating up soup, we are building a complex broth structure in real time. Now, we let this melt for about 4 or 5 minutes, not hours. This isn't about cooking the ingredients, they're already cooked. This is about the flavors. While this simmers, look at the efficiency of using the remnants from other recipes, aka the other flavor maps. This entire 7-minute miracle came out of a few cans and a few leftovers. No massive cutting boards to wash, no peeling, no peelings, no compost, and no heavy stock pots. Don't have to scrub them. That's great with my limited water supply. Now, this is how you live big in a small space. So, we're looking for a gentle simmer, just enough to let the potatoes, why am I saying potatoes? I don't know. Soak up the seasoned broth and let the clams release their last bit of sweetness. If you want thicker, you can smash a few of those potatoes against the side of the pot, letting their natural starch act as a thickening agent without needing a flour-based roux. It's about using the engineering of the ingredients to get the texture you want. As we pull this off the burner, no more heat, notice the color. It's not that pasty, floury white you get from a can of condensed soup. It has a slight golden hue from the bloomed Old Bay and the olive oil. This is a phantom chowder, a meal that shouldn't exist this quickly. It shouldn't, but here it is. Now for me, the verdict is simple. It's a definitive pass. It's good. You've seen the map and you've seen the science. You don't need a wharfside kitchen or a 4-hour window to find comfort in the high desert. You just need to know how to move the pieces around on the board. You've heard my verdict. Now, give this a chew and let me know what you think. Do you agree that the chemistry beats the clock? Or are you sticking with the 4-hour simmer? I'm curious. It just goes to show, even when the recipe changes, you can still cook up a life you love. I'm Charlie. Thank you for watching and truly appreciate your time. I do. Deuces.
You can visit my link in bio for a complete library of all my videos.